Alright, what it is, people? It's your boy, I Grind Yugioh. We back with another video, and this time we doing brand new Master Duel ban list. Yes, Master Duel just dropped another ban list, and I want to get into it with you all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know about the content that I'm making, what you like about it, also what you dislike about it. That way we can fix it and we can move forward and improve everything. Let's get into it right now. So first card that's forbidden right now is Chaos Ruler. Of course, you know Chaos Ruler is banned in TCG and OCG, but now it's banned in Master Duel. This card right here was so broken. I mean, tier limits played this card. Every almost any graveyard deck that played lights and darks really played this card right here. And this card right here is like too phenomenal, too amazing to even be in the format. It's a free, synchro. It could come back from the grave. It just has so many effects that could just plus so many times, and I'm surprised this card even lasted around this long. So I'm glad that it's kind of out of the format, because it was too crazy anyway. But I'm glad to see this Chaos Ruler card is just out the game right now. So let's go to the next card. White Dragon Wyvern Buster. This card right here is mainly for like Dragon Link and Chaos decks and stuff like that. But I'm glad this card is kind of out the format. It wasn't too crazy, but at least they're trying to do some shakeups and some changes I'm seeing so far with this list. So as of right now, I'm just glad that we're able to have a good mix up and a good change in the format with the list and forbidden list for Master Duel. And I think Master Duel right now is doing a good job of trying to have their own format and do their own thing on the side outside of the TCG and OCG. So I'm kind of thankful for that. The next card of Demise. This card right here is in the TCG is okay. It's not really doing nothing. In OCG it's at 3, but still, this card right here, I guess in Master Duel is really busted. I haven't really played against too many decks that's been playing this card, but any card that until you have 3 cards in your hand. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no battle damage. During the end phase of this turn, send your entire hand to the graveyard. It's like you could plus in so many ways with this card, and you cannot search something during the time you activate this card. This card right here, in certain ways, can be amazing depending on the decks that you play it in. And I'm just glad, we don't have too many busted effects going on in Master Duel. We don't really need that, but I'm glad that this card right here is hit. I mean, it's at 1 in TCG, but it's banned in Master Duel for a reason. The Super Heavy Samurai. You could target one Super Heavy Samurai monster you control. Equip this monster from your hand or your side of the field to that target. It loses 1,000 defense. Also, it cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish all Super Heavy Samurai Soulbreaker armors from your graveyard. Then target one Super Heavy Samurai monster on the field whose current defense is lower than its original defense. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between its current and original defense. So this card right here must be some kind of burn card or whatever. I haven't came across it too many times, but I'm probably thankful that I haven't. But this card right here is banned, and the TCG is at 3, but the OCG is banned. But I have to do more research on this card right here. But I don't know. I guess it's a good change for a reason. Fenrir to 1. Now I play Kashtira in Master Duel, so I'm kind of mad about this, but it's for a reason. Like I made in my previous video, the Kashtira buff video that I said, and why people should play Kashtira in TCG. Kashtira is at 3. It's the most generic card I think in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the TCG besides SP Lunar Knight. And they hit it to 1 in Master Duel. And they hit it to 1, like I said, for a reason. You could special summon Kashtira Fenrir, search another Kashtira monster. You could search another Kashtira Fenrir and get a free special summon later on down the road in the duel. This card right here is too busted. Like I said in my previous video, if people are playing a deck, I think you should play Kashtira that they got a buff in the TCG. Right now in the Master Duel, it got hit to 1. It didn't get hit that much in the TCG, so I think Kashtira is a valuable deck, maybe tier 1 in my opinion, but a lot of people are sleeping on it. But Kashtira Fenrir Master Duel is at 1 now for a reason, and I don't know, they're coming after Kashtira really hard in the Master Duel format. Spectre Border to 1, I can see why you would do this. The stun decks are very annoying and it's not fun, and also you can see a lot of matches. It's not a lot going on with stun decks, and the Spectre Border definitely need to be hit to 1. This card right here just doesn't make sense. There can only be one. I see Konami and their Konami is doing a good job of hitting the floodgates. There can only be 1-1 is just basically an unfair card. In the OCG I see it's at 2, but in the TCG knocking it to 1 is a real good thing. You want this game to be as interactive as possible, and like I said in my previous ban list video for the TCG, if you flip up one card and your opponent cannot interact with you, that's you're not even playing the game. It's just an unfair game at that point, just by having one card. And I'm glad this card has just hit the 1. See less odds of seeing it, and stun decks are going crazy in Master Duel, so I'm glad that they're out. And this is a good hit, I think. Runic Destruction to 1. The runic stuff is kind of crazy, and I'm glad that they're kind of working on it right now. But runic is definitely out of control. I seen Joshua Smith won the YCS, and a lot of people are trying to move over to the runic strategy now with the bestials or whatever. But runic's getting hit is definitely crazy. I played against the runic sprite, the runic what's the other runic, the runic for hire. They draw so many cards. This runic stuff is getting out of control, and I'm glad that they hit this to 1, and they're working on the runic stuff all together, because that stun stuff is out of control. Desires to 1. Desires is a good card. I remember in the TCG it was at 1, and then they bounced it back to 2, and now it's at 3 now with the last list. But Desires to 1, I don't think it was that bad to be at 2 or whatever. But I don't know. Them hitting this to 1, I don't know if that was really a good call, but it's an okay card. But I mean, if you do draw this and you get a free draw 2, well, draw 2, but you have to banish 10 face down. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But them hitting it to 1, I don't know. I don't really know about that, being a good thing too much. But it is what it is at this point. Kaiser Coliseum to 1. This card is banned in the TCG, but in the OCG it's at 3. If there's one or more monsters on the field of the controller of this card, his or her opponent cannot place a monster on the field. Okay, I see. If his or her number of monsters would exceed the number of monsters that are on the field of this card controller, the cards that are already on the field before this activation are unaffected by this card. Alright, I can see why this card is being limited to 1. I know in the TCG it's already banned, but Kaiser Coliseum to 1. Let's see what kind of change that'll make in the Master Duel format. Cash Tier Birth to 1. Cash Tier Birth is a broken card. Like I said in my previous Cash Tier Buff video in TCG, I do not know why people have moved away from Cash Tier, but Cash Tier is a powerful deck. Fenrir is at 3. Birth is at 3. Birth is a very powerful card. You can top deck Birth and just pop off, and people have been underestimating Cash Tier. They are not underestimating it. The Master Duel, they're putting this card to 1. They're putting it to 1 for a reason. But I am glad that they're working on Cash Tier, even though I played the deck in Master Duel. But Birth is a very good, very, very, very good card, and I'm glad that they're working on this. Power Duality to 1. I think they're trying to work on Flunderies or just other decks that just want to dig for certain cards or whatever, maybe floodgates and stuff like that. So excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, add one of them to your hand. Also, after that, shuffle the rest back into your deck. You can only activate 1 Power Duality per turn. You cannot special summon in turn you activate this card. So Power Duality to 1 is, I'm not sure if it's too of a hit, but I don't know. I think all the pot cards are at 1 now in Master Duel, and that's a crazy thing to think about. Purely Delicious Memory to 1. I'm glad that they hit Purely. I hate that deck, but I guess there are some Purely players out there that are doing really good with the deck, and they're trying to tame the deck at this point. But Delicious Memory to 1 is a good hit, I think. Synchro Zone. I never seen this card before. Neither player can declare attacks except with Synchro monsters. You can only use each of the following effects of Synchro Zone once per turn. If a non-tuner Synchro monster is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of those monsters special summon, and if you do, it's treated as a tuner. During your opponent's main phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro Summon using monsters you control as material. Okay, I can see why, this is like I forgot what it is, that trap card for, that fusion trap card that lets you fuse and summon or whatever. I think this is a different version of that, and, people are probably abusing this. Semi-limited, pretty memory. Okay, they're going after Pearly is really hard, and I think that is a good thing to do, and I'm glad they are, because that deck is really annoying with the Noir and just sitting on unaffected monster. That is kind of unfair in the game, I think, but there are ways to out it. But you will have to go a different way about it depending on the format. And I'm glad that they're hitting this too. Let's go now to the unlimiteds. The Dragon Rulers, Redox, Title, and Tempest. I've been hearing people make a lot of noise about these cards. I haven't played in the Dragon Ruler format, but I'm just glad that they're trying to change things up and hit things and make things old things more viable now in the game. I think that is a good thing. Power creep is a thing in the game, but also bringing back old cards that people can enjoy and come back in Yu-Gi-Oh and get back familiar with old strategies. I think that is a pretty good thing. A lot of people say Konami hit things that they hit certain decks to make force people to buy new decks, but I think also bringing old powerful cards back into the game can also bring old players back into the game and switch things around. There are a lot of amazing players that play old decks and old strategies that can come in and definitely make things more viable and shake the meta up a little bit. And I also think they're all level sevens or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe Cash Churro gets a boost with that. Speed Roy Terratop to 3. I know at TCG it's at 2 now and OCG it's at 1, but this card is at 3 in Master Duel, and I'm glad to see any kind of change up. This gives people more of a strategic outlook on the game, and they could try new things and just bring something new and fresh to the game. So let's see what this does. The Predator Plant Scorpio, I've seen this card many times in the TCG. If this card is normal special summon, you can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon one Predator Plant monster from your deck, except Predator Plant Scorpio. You can only use this effect of Predator Plant Scorpio once per turn. Alright, well, this card is at 3. I guess this is mostly for, I think, the fusion decks, I think, because I know there is a Predator Plant card that can search a fusion spell or whatever, but, and this Sword Soul Long One, this card is being unlimited to 3. I don't think Sword Soul is doing too much, but, Sword Soul is always a legitimate deck, I think, in my opinion, a good synchro deck or a beginner deck that people could play and, get back into the game with and refresh, their gameplay. And I think this coming back to 3 is an okay move, but I know in the TCG that burn for 1200 effect was being abused a lot, but I'm not gonna talk too much about that. But this is the Master Duel ban list that just came out, and I think it's a really good fresh list. I think the biggest list that they ever made, but any good change ups that they could make in the game, I think is very welcome in my opinion. It keeps players on their toes, always coming up with new strategies. You don't want the game to get very stale, and I'm just glad that they're putting more into this game and giving players, something new to look at and something new to, come up with and, move things around and keep it, shaking up a little bit. And I think these hits are definitely big hits, dramatic hits, and I kind of like that for the game. Anything that could change the game up and keep people thinking, I'm kind of for it. So, this is my opinion on the new Master Duel ban list. This your boy I Grind Yu-Gi-Oh! Rennie Whitehead. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe. More videos on the way. More live streams. I will be start doing live streams. More commentary videos. More reviews. I will. You will be seeing my face a lot more. And I'm just thankful that you all tune into my videos and just stay updated and always tuning into me. So always check in with me. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm here. I Grind Yu-Gi-Oh! More videos on